Welcome, guys. This is the Three Rivers Rundown podcast. My name's Stefan, and the other co-hosts we got are Joe and Dom. We're just three idiots in Pittsburgh that we're like, hey, why not start a podcast? See what we can do. Have some fun with it. If we blow up, we blow up. If we don't, we don't. Guys, got anything to say?
Not really. I'm excited to get it going. Sorry, I just dropped my phone.
Again.
It's only about the 15th time you dropped your phone in a matter of.
Sorry, it won't be the last.
All right, guys. So, how are you guys feeling about this podcast? Like, somebody want to explain? You guys want to explain like what we're doing here, like what we're going to talk about and everything? Why are we doing this?
So, I think this is really good because, I mean, we've known each other all of our lives, and every time we hang out, I mean, we literally just sit down and talking, in the basement about sports. We'll start at 10 p.m. and on at 3 a.m. We'll be like, wait, we can talk for 5 hours. So, literally we'll go from football to basketball, fantasy, whatever it is, but we can literally talk about sports all night.
I don't know why I just thought of this, but like a fond memory I have is in the house you're at right now. I forget why we were there, but it was you, me, and Joe. We're just sitting in your living room, and we're like, all right, like, let's keep naming Steelers wide receivers until you can't anymore. And like, we were pulling out some crazy names. So we just like talking about sports with each other. So I think this will be
something real quick about that.
How much you look up?
Honestly, there was a point where like you guys were just naming, and I'm a diehard Steelers fan, but there was a point you guys were like naming some ridiculous Steelers, and I was like,
of course,
I just got to look up like one or two guys. So I probably looked like in like 3 or 4 people.
And you still got last in every category?
No, that's not true. I won one. And I felt really good about it.
Maybe kickers. Maybe kickers you got.
But yeah, so I cheated probably on one or two of the categories.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Remember that.
I'm competitive, man.
It's true.
But diehard Steelers fan. I still know a lot about Steelers. I go to about 4 or 5 games a year. You guys were naming some dudes. I blew my mind.
I don't think you knowing like backups from 2003 really shows if you're a diehard Steelers fan or not. I just think that's a bunch of useless knowledge me and Joe have.
Like
completely useless.
Oh, real quick too, for all of our viewers, I do want to point out we are 3 people from Pittsburgh. So quick disclaimer here is most likely what we say is going to be biased towards like the Steelers. So just want to let everyone know from now, we might say some crazy stuff. At least you'll hear me say 4 or 5 times this year. Steelers will be in the Super Bowl. Justin Fields will be in the MVP running. So I just want everyone to know that. Yeah. Listen, that's being a diehard fan.
He should be the front runner after that.
With the Steeler logo behind him, and I got a Duquesne football shirt, which is a
little Pens action here.
Okay.
That's an old shirt.
Got Ben.
Hell yeah.
But all right, guys, maybe to start off the show, do you guys want to go into our first segment? Sound good with everyone?
I think that's a good idea.
All right. For our first segment, we got locks of the week. So does anyone want to lead off and give what you think is your lock of the week for betting? Anything that could happen for NFL, college, anything. It just has to happen between this Thursday and next Monday. Who wants to lead it off?
I'll go. Right. I'll go first, but this might be the last game of the week. My lock of the week's the Chiefs -5. Despite a huge loss in Rashee Rice, Mahomes knows how to win. Kelsey's coming off his best game of the year. It's in Arrowhead against a Saints team that just took a loss. Saints, I think, were maybe a little too confident coming out of the gate, and then they faced a real contender, and you see what happened.
Dude, it's tough to play at Arrowhead. It's definitely playing, going to Arrowhead's a whole. It kind of reminds you of Heinz Field, or Acrisure Stadium, I should say now. But
yeah,
it's similar.
Absolutely.
Hard to win there.
It's a brutal environment. Yeah. Definitely loud. Fans are active. So that I like the Chiefs in this game. Saints, like I said, coming off a loss last week. Now they're up against a contender. I'm not confident in them going into Arrowhead with a victory there.
Do you have any fear with them now being down Pacheco and Rashee Rice?
I think so, but also I think Chiefs can get by with a running back by committee. I think they're trying to get Kareem Hunt up to speed. I do think that he's probably the best option in that room. However, I do like Samaje Perine coming in on third downs, catching some passes. But I don't think they're going to miss Pacheco too much. I think he's a good player, but between those two, I think that they'll do a good enough job. And I mean, Andy Reid, he's pretty crafty. You never know what he's going to come up with. So should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested now. We saw Rice get hurt, and Kelsey's kind of going back to his old form. He's playing really good, so I'm intrigued to see if maybe was it they weren't using Kelsey because they liked Rice that much because Rice has been dominant to start the season, or is it maybe Kelsey just happened to have a good game yesterday and maybe he's not as good as he once was? So I think that's going to be interesting to see.
That could definitely be possible. He hasn't looked himself since the year started. So we'll see what happens.
The one thing I'll say to that is, well, first off, I think he had like 11 or 12 targets that game, which is obviously a lot of targets. But I was watching some of the replays on ESPN, and Travis Kelsey looks like he's getting open a lot. It seems like Mahomes just missing him a little bit. I don't know if you guys seen that. He obviously slowed down. He's not the same Travis Kelsey. I'm not saying that by any means, but I've seen some plays where Kelsey's still getting open a little bit. Mahomes just missing him.
Yeah. He's always been crafty. I mean, he's always been a good route runner.
Yeah.
I wonder if part of that is because not like a star-studded wide receiver room, but I feel like they have so many receivers that can make plays and they want to get the ball to. I wonder if that's not that Mahomes is missing him or if it's just that offense is moving Kelsey down and Reed. So instead of him being the primary, this the first guy you look at, maybe he's moving down to 3. He's the third Reed there. So maybe he's just missing him off rip and he's finding other guys open a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can all agree that Rashee Rice is easily their best offensive weapon besides Mahomes. So that didn't surprise me that he took a lot of the the share of targets there. But I don't know. I'm interested to see how it goes.
Shout out to Justin Watson stepping in.
Pittsburgh boy.
Pittsburgh boy, yeah. Grew up about 10 minutes down the street from us.
He's another great guy that you can bet on. It's usually his over-unders 15, 20 yards, and he's usually good for 125 to 30-yard catch a game. He's cashed me out on a lot of bets.
Yeah, you got to represent the Pittsburgh boys, man.
Yes,
absolutely.
sir.
Show out. Jordan Whitehead.
All right, moving on. Dom, do you want to give us what your lock of the week is?
Yeah, so I have Jacksonville -2.5. To be honest, this is probably the most surprising team to me this year. I can't believe they're 0-4. I believe they have everything they need on the offensive side. I think Doug Peterson's a great coach still. But their defense is absolutely horrific. But I do believe that Trevor Lawrence is going to make some plays. Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas are going to make some plays, and I think they're going to pull up a victory this week.
Okay. What are your thoughts around Trevor Lawrence with that team? Do you think he's kind of holding that team back? Do you think maybe it's just the scheme hasn't been that good this year, facing tough opponents? What's going on with that?
It's interesting, dude, because I would actually like to see Mac Jones with Doug Peterson a little bit, but I mean, it's hard to bench Trevor. I think Trevor's still a top, 14, 13 quarterback in the league. Obviously, he stinks in fantasy. But I mean, the talent's still there. I don't know if it's just a communication issue between the quarterback and the head coach, but I still believe that Trevor Lawrence is absolutely a starting quarterback in this league. Hey, listen, I would love him at Pittsburgh. I personally would take him over Justin Fields, to be honest with you. Obviously, Justin Fields makes plays with his feet, but there's no doubt he throws the ball better, especially downfield.
One thing about the Jaguars that I've been noticing recently, and it's kind of upsetting to see because I have ETN in a couple fantasy leagues, but it looks like Tank Bigsby, like last year, I didn't think he was good at all. And this year, it looks like he's carving out himself like a nice little
Yeah,
role. So that, I mean, not fantasy wise for me, but like for him personally, that's like cool to see. He's been
yeah.
killing it.
It's also weird to me because I know Jacksonville's home, but um, the Colts are, they just came off a big victory against us. So like, it's weird that they're even favoring this game, especially after losing what was it, 37 to Buffalo 2 weeks ago. Indy looked really good, you know. So it's an interesting line. I always try to, read into these lines probably more than I should, and I just see this is another one of those reasons I don't see Jacksonville, being why they're favoring this game to begin with.
Here's a question for you. Anthony Richardson got banged up against the Steelers. I think he has a hip pointer, which that's just kind of pain tolerance, and then I think he might even have like a strained oblique or something. Whatever Kenneth Walker just had, he has now. So he might miss time, he might not. I know a lot of that has to do. It's not like serious injuries, more of like pain tolerance. Do you think it would help the Colts to have Richardson over Flacco, or you think at this point maybe Flacco would be like a better fit for them? Because me personally, I think that if Richardson stays in the ball game, I think the Steelers could play Colts a lot better. I think what Flacco
And
was doing to us, I'm not confident Richardson could have.
Richardson's one of those guys, you're guaranteed to get a turnover. Like we were gonna
Definitely.
make especially with our defense, we're gonna make a big play. Joe Flacco, the season's set. He makes the right reads. He's smart. You obviously can't move like Richardson can, but I believe Richardson's just one of those dudes, especially the first play of the game. I mean, that should have been picked off. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
guys saw that. Joey Porter should have had that ball.
To Michael Pittman.
Yeah, it
Yep.
literally went between his hands.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually totally agree with you, Steph. I think if Richardson stays in that game, I think we actually do pull out the victory. But I would prefer Joe Flacco, and I have Anthony Richardson on my fantasy team, so like I'm rooting for Richardson, obviously. But Joe Flacco, dude, he's a dog.
Okay.
A straight killer.
I agree. I agree with all of that. I mean, Flacco, you saw how he managed the game. He's just smart. He's comfortable back there. He just makes the right decisions, and that's not something that Anthony Richardson has done consistent enough. I think, but yeah, I actually like this pick, Don.
Yeah.
If Richardson's playing.
I was gonna say, just to confirm, if Richardson's playing, you're gonna like it way more than if Flacco's playing.
I think Jackson's just good too. That's all. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
like
think
that.
that's like? Do you think it's a scheme issue? It's not for lack of weapons, or is it Trevor himself?
So bad. I'm telling you. They give themselves the chance. Defense goes out there and they're all over the place. If you watch them play this weekend, you'll say, dude, this defense is horrible. Trust me, I watched the whole game, the last two games, the Buffalo game and the Miami game last week, or not Miami, whoever they played last week.
All right. We'll move on to mine now. My lock of the week. I'm kind of surprised that their underdogs is I'm going with the Buccaneers plus 1.5. I just think this team, I said it before, and I just love Baker. I can't say that enough. I'm so glad he's not on the Browns anymore because I think he's a stud. But I mean, yes, you played up a Bengals-Eagles team last week, but everyone's thinking like the Eagles are crazy, like crazy good. I think they're good. I don't think they're Super Bowl good anymore. But they go in there and what? They beat them like 33-19, stomped them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they were banged up, but they couldn't stop that offense. It was
They were up 24-0 at one point.
Yeah, it's the Eagles' offense was banged up. Their defense wasn't banged up, and I felt like Tampa Bay could do no wrong. Like they were just moving the ball at all times.
Right.
You had a rookie Bucky Irvin. He came in, scored. That's exciting to see for him. So
He's looked pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just very surprised that this team's they're not favored. I mean, it could be a rat.
Do you guys think Kirk Cousins has looked a little bit more comfortable after that Week 1 game against us, or like do you feel like he's finding his rhythm a little bit? Or
I think so.
Like he's kind of a little bit.
I don't think he's fully 100%, but I definitely think he's finding a rhythm, finding that sweet spot kind of, and just figuring it out. He's another guy like Flacco. He's a veteran, smart guy, makes the right decisions for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, I just personally, dude, against the Eagles, was that last week or 2 weeks ago? Whatever game that was where they came back and won. I think it was 2 weeks ago. He looked like prime Kirk Cousins, man.
He looked good.
So I think that's a really good game. I didn't even know that game was happening until about an hour ago. Division war. So nothing better. Low scoring game. Division games are always low scoring. So when you're betting,
and it's a Thursday night.
And it's a Thursday
short
night
week.
Yep.
So we got the Thursday night game and the Monday night game in our locks. So if you got a bet going, if you're riding with us, you got a long time to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Got a long time to wait. And just to kind of wrap this up, show everyone, we got Bucks plus 1.5, Jags minus 2.5, Chiefs minus 5, and those odds would be 568. Now we're not saying tail us because we know nothing. Last week we each picked a lock, and I don't think any of them hit. So
I think we all lost.
Yeah, not one person hit. I don't think they were even close. So do not listen to us for this, but this is what we'll be riding this weekend.
I actually believe I'm the best bettor in the world.
Okay.
Yeah. What's that mean, though?
Like, I'll go against Clifton 7 for 3 on Sundays.
How'd you do this past weekend?
About 2-8.
I was gonna say your lock didn't hit.
Right.
All right, guys. Going from that, the next segment we like to call them weekly pick'ems. So I started when the season began. I joined a pick'ems league, and we thought it would be cool if every week we sat down and we went through it and did it together and see if we can get first in the league or see what we can do. So starting off with that, we'll go. Week or Thursday night game, Buccaneers Falcons. What are you guys thinking? I'll go first. I think Buccaneers. That's
your pick of the week or lock of the week anyway.
So
listen, you have a plus 1.5, so you can think they lose by 1.
No, I think Buccaneers win this one. I think they've played a couple tough opponents, and their only loss to is the Broncos. So I think maybe they just fumbled a little, but I think they're in for a good week this week.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I really like the Buccaneers. I'm a huge fan of Baker. See what happens. Thursday night, though.
Yeah, I was going to say Atlanta, but the unanimous pick already the Buccaneers. So
it's a bold pick. Thursday night game, Steph.
Well, listen.
Ballsy.
Dom, if you don't think Buccaneers, still you go Falcons. So next week when we talk about this, you could be like, "Ha, told you guys, I'm the best bettor here." Like I know.
You guys.
Yeah, so you can gloat. And here, if you want to know what the spread is, spread on here. This is BetMGM. It's a spread for BetMGM right here. Money line, total over and under. You still like the Falcons?
I do. I think they're actually going to be rolling here a little bit. I think they're going to catch hot, and I think Kirk Cousins is going to lead this team to a division title.
Okay. Well, you still got outvoted, but we'll remember that for next week. All right, next game. Early game, 9:30. Jets versus Vikings. We're going all the way. This is in London, correct?
London. Oof. Tottenham.
Give me the New York Jets in London. They're going to shock the world. Sam Darnold's going to have jet lag, and Rodgers is going to pull victory here.
Wow.
I just think this is one of those trap games. That's all. I think everybody's going to be all over Minnesota, especially after how New York's offense looked last week. So give me the Jets.
Okay. All right, Joe, you want to go next? Who do you think?
I'm with you, Dom. I think, Aaron Rodgers humbles Darnold on UK soil. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't real high on the Vikings coming into this year, because of their quarterback situation. Now that you see Darnold playing well, it still doesn't make me, over the top about them. I think they pick up a loss here. I think they're due.
I guess I'm going against the grain with this one. I think Vikings for sure. I just the the Jets to
10%.
the Jets for me just haven't really looked good at all. Like I've never really watched them and been like super impressed. And every time I turn on a Vikings game, I'm like, holy cow. Like so
Trap
I'm
game.
take I'm taking Vikings for this one. All right. Moving on to the next one. The Bears versus the Panthers. It's finally hitting 1 o'clock on Sunday. Dom, lead us off.
I'm gonna go with Chicago. I think after watching them last week, I think the offense was finally moving the ball a little bit, and they were getting into the red zone. Um, I don't know if you guys saw the couple games prior. Caleb Williams literally could not connect on a deep look once. He was overthrown. He still did that a little bit last week, but I think he fumbled a little bit. Made the easier passes, drove down the field easier, and it opened up, long shots, and he was finally able to connect on a couple. And Carolina, Andy Dalton's playing all right, but their defense is horrible. So yeah, I think Chicago finds a way to win and take the dub.
Go for it, Joe.
So I'm going to be on the Panthers here. Now, although Caleb Williams was pretty efficient last game, he didn't have a whole lot of yards. I'm waiting for him to break out. I don't know if it's going to happen. It doesn't look like it. I'm waiting for a 250 plus yard game. But maybe it's coaching. I don't know. But I'm going to go with Big Red Andy Dalton against one of his former teams. I think he's been playing well. I mean, they played the Bengals pretty tough last week for the most part. I think they kept it within 10 points. I think the Panthers go into Chicago and take this one. I don't think it's going to be by a wide margin. I'd say about 6 points or so.
I could be wrong on this, so I want to look it up, but I'm pretty sure Caleb Williams had a 300-yard passing game.
Dude, he played
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah, against the Colts, he threw for 363 and 2 touchdowns, but he
Okay.
did have 3 turnovers.
Oh, that's on me.
Well, for me, I'm going Bears also. I really like Andy Dalton, but I just think the Bears defense is really good. I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams. I don't think he's that good, but I think going into this game, this is going to be a good matchup for them, and I think Caleb Williams and the Bears can take it.
Well, good. Real quick, going back to Joey's point, he mentioned the coaching situation. Eberflus is a straight defensive guy. That also goes to your point, Steph, too, because you said their defense is good rolling. So, dude, I honestly, truly believe that the quarterback and head coach connection is, way more valuable than people think. Like a defensive guy is not going to know how to control an offense, especially a young rookie. So, I get that,
Yeah.
You got to give the kid some time.
I agree. All right, moving on. I can lead off this one. I think this is a tough one because everything in me wants to say Ravens because I feel like that's the easier, safe pick. But this is kind of one of those games like the Bengals can kind of sneak up and take. I'm still gonna go with the Ravens, but this one gets me nervous. Division game. Who knows what can happen? But the Ravens, what they did to the Bills last week, it's hard to say anything but them right now.
I feel you on that, Steph, but I said the same exact thing about the Bills the week before against the Ravens. I just have a funny feeling about this game. It's a division game. They know each other. Cincinnati has the home field advantage. I don't know. I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm going to take the Bengals here.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals as well. I think Bengals move 2 and 3 this week. I think this is what happens every single year for Cincinnati. They start off slow. The first 2 or 3 games are literally I swear the last couple of years they start off 0 and 2, 0 and 3. This is when they get hot, Steph. This is when they win a couple games in a row, and they're going to make a statement on Sunday and beat Baltimore at home.
I wish I remembered the stat, but it was like teams that start 0-3 are like have next to like no chance of making it to the playoffs. And I saw how the Bengals, they were sitting there at 0-3, and then they pull out a win. And then, like you guys, I'm still with the Ravens, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Bengals do win, and then we could see them go on a little run. So it's going to be fun to see if they start out 0-3 and make the playoffs when not many
Yeah.
teams have done that before.
Dude, weren't they 0-3 last year? I mean, they missed the playoffs, but like, weren't they 0-3 last year? Or 0-2 or something?
That I cannot recall.
I believe they were.
All right.
Great game.
Great game coming up. What are you guys? Dom, why don't you lead us off? What are you thinking?
Man, is this tough? Dude, I'm gonna take the another underdog, man. I'm gonna take Houston. I just think, Houston's weapons are, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell. I know Joe Mixon's out. But I think CJ Stroud's going to put up 300 plus yards. I think he's going to torture this defense a little bit, especially after seeing Buffalo's defense last week. I do not think DeMar Hamlin's good in coverage. I just think their secondary has a lot of weak spots.
Wait, whoa. Why are you attacking the pick guy?
Hey, listen, I you know me. We talked about this. I'm not as biased as you guys. Whenever you watch DeMar Hamlin, listen, I'm a huge DeMar Hamlin fan, but I just don't think he's a really good guy in coverage. I think that Josh Allen is absolutely, like, right now the best quarterback in the league. But I think Houston's defense is actually low-key really good too, and I think Houston wins this game about 6 points.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Joe, thoughts?
I'm going with the Bills. I mean, Dom took the words right out of my mouth. Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league right now. I think he's gonna, go into this game with a little bit of a bad taste from last week. Against a pretty tough opponent here in Houston. But I think Bills take care of business. I'm going to say Bills by spread. I'd take like 6.5.
Wow.
I'd take the over. I think it's a touchdown or more.
You guys are complete opposite side of the spectrum right there. One's Texans with 6, one's Bills with 6.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think for me, I got to go Bills. I just think they're such a good team that got embarrassed this past week. And I guarantee you that whole entire team has a sour taste in their mouth. And I was thinking to myself right after the game, I was like, I'd hate to be the next team to take them on. So for that, I got to go
That's
Bills.
Good point, Steph. I like that.
And also, I want to talk about, don't quote me on the exact numbers, but I saw like some sort of stat where it was like Josh Allen. Do you guys remember that deep throw he made to Khalil Shakir where he was running and he was like right at the sideline? It's like 40 yards or something.
Yeah, he was wide open deep.
Yeah, so he was 0.9 yards away from being out of bounds. And I saw like this stat. It was something along the lines of, for when he's within a yard or closer to the sideline, he's like 6 for 7 with almost like 200 yards passing. And since he started his career and in that same time frame, the rest of the league is like 1 for like 18 and doing that with like 20 yards.
Wow.
Dude, how do they even have that stat? That's crazy.
Listen,
that's wild. Like, dude, they have stats for everything. It's crazy.
That's like you're watching the NFL and friggin' Roberto Aguayo like kicks a field goal. They're like, did you know he's the first kicker since 1947 who weighs 160 pounds and his left foot had a callus on it to kick a field goal over 54 yards? It's like,
no way you just said Aguayo, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's wild.
Where'd you pull that from? What do you think about?
I thought about him.
Listen,
that's disgusting.
He's the guy that came to my mind when I was thinking of a random kicker.
Roberto Aguayo.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Wow.
All right. Next game. Colts and Jags. I feel like, Dom, you can kick us off, make it real easy for us.
I wonder who I'm going to take. Yeah, I'm going to take Jacksonville. I think they're going to cover the spread, and I think they finally get on the board this week.
Okay.
Make it very simple.
Joe?
I'm also going with the Jaguars. As long as Anthony Richardson is starting. I'm telling you, I like Flacco. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the Jags at home. They're way overdue.
I'm right there with you guys. Got to go Jags here. Nice.
At some
easy
point.
one right there. We just picked an 0-4 team over the team that just made our team look like Swiss cheese. So that's kind of interesting for us.
Got
all right.
out by the refs.
Next game, Dolphins versus Pats. I kind of want to lead this one off. I am so fed up with these Dolphins. And it's not, I don't even think the Dolphins are that bad of a team. I just think they have to like look and be like, who, like the guys they're throwing out to play quarterback, like, what are we doing?
Right.
Like, go out, make a trade with someone, go get Ryan Tannehill. But like, you're bringing in Tyler Huntley. You had, who was it? Started last week.
Not Spencer Anderson. What the heck?
What about
don't know.
Wait, you talk about Miami's quarterback this?
Yeah.
Howard Huntley.
No. The week before. This was Tyler Huntley.
Spencer Thompson.
So yeah, don't know who
that
is.
Skylar Thompson.
Skylar Thompson.
Why are they relying on Skylar Thompson to win a game? And then he gets hurt, and who do they have? Like Tim Boyle, a dude with 3 touchdowns in his whole college career. Like, they have to go out and make a move. If they're staying with this, I think the Patriots are just going to run them over. Since Tua got hurt, I don't think they've scored a touchdown. Like, you're not going to win football games without scoring. So,
we know what Huntley ran for a touchdown last night.
That's right.
I'm going to tell you right now who Miami should get. Right now, they get them at a great discount.
Who's that? Wow.
If you're Carolina, you can't give up on him. Hasn't even been 2 seasons.
I'm going to make a wild statement.
I don't know about that.
Will not start another game in Carolina.
Unless Andy Dalton gets hurt. I 100% agree with that.
Was it their head coach they brought in? Isn't he supposed to be like great with quarterbacks? Like he fixes quarterbacks and everything?
Yeah, Corrales or whatever. It's
Canales.
Tampa,
yeah, look what he did with Baker. I mean, I just think it's way too early. You can't spend all that capital to trade for the first pick to draft Bryce Young when I don't even think he has a team around him, so I'm not even going to blame him, and then just give up on him, and he doesn't even get 2 seasons to start. I mean, you can't give up on him yet. Unless the Dolphins are going to give up something really pretty for it, which I think any team in the NFL would be kind of silly to do right now. It makes me feel like a Trey Lance kind of deal he would get where it's like next to nothing, and I just don't think that makes sense for the Panthers to do.
Well, this is the one thing I'll say to that, though, is I truly believe that they are a quarterback away to winning the AFC East. So I think they're a very, very talented football team. I mean, they have obviously probably the best duo. What are you making that face for, Joe?
Go ahead. Keep going.
I think they have, it's either them or the Bengals that have the best duo receiver. I think, if they go out there and get a Bryce Young or, I don't know. I think if they upgrade the quarterback position a little bit, I think they could make a little run in the AFC East. I think they can play with Buffalo depending on who they get at the quarterback position.
I will say this. I saw something today that would be kind of interesting. I think it was from Adam Schefter. It said, like, nobody's telling Tua, like, he's going to have, like, serious problems from this, and he should be able to return when he's first eligible. Was it October 27th? As of right now, obviously, in an hour, we could hear something different. But I think if Tua returns, they go back to a pretty elite team.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think he should ever play again. I mean, that's.
Agree with that.
I don't think it's that worth it. I mean, you got a nice chunk of change. I'd get out while you're still healthy enough. But I'm gonna go with the Patriots too here. I mean, Dolphins look abysmal. They look clueless.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, illegal formation. They're these guys aren't set. All this stuff that's going on. It looks like a JV team. It looks like week 2 of the preseason, fourth quarter.
That's how Baltimore was week 1, though. They had about 5 illegal formation penalties, but they look like one of the most disciplined teams right now in the NFL. But I mean, obviously, Miami's in a different situation. I'm really not going to compare the two.
And they can
England anyways.
They could turn it around, but I think that they need to definitely go make a move or have their pick of free agency. I don't think Bryce Young is going to get them to the playoffs. But go get a vet, someone that's been around a little bit. Why not a Tyrod Taylor or something like that? Is he retired? I don't even know.
Yeah, he's on the
he was on a team last year.
He backs up Rodgers.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, someone like that, someone capable, someone that's, won games in the NFL before.
Yeah, I'm taking New England too, Steph. So okay. I know it's already 2-0, but.
Yep. So moving on, Browns Commanders. Who wants to lead it off?
I'm taking the Commanders. I think Cleveland's absolutely pathetic. I think the quarterback situation's pathetic. I think the receiving core is absolutely pathetic. I think the running game's absolutely pathetic. I can keep going about Cleveland. I think that defense is overrated just a little bit. They are not better than Pittsburgh's defense. I'm sick of hearing the paper champs every single year of my life. I'm taking Washington, and I hope Jaden Daniels makes them all look like fools.
I agree with Dom. I am going Washington, but Steph, can you pull up that matchup analysis? I want to see something real quick. I know, Cleveland's defense is pretty solid on paper. Let's see. They're doing horrible this year. Oh, that's their offense. Sorry. Okay. I mean, I think they could potentially give Jaden Daniels some fits, but I don't think the Browns' offense is capable enough to score enough points to win on the road. I think there's some hype around the Commanders. I think they're riding with it. They have a little bit of swagger. I'm going to go Washington.
I'm about to make a bold statement because I might be changing my lock of the week, but I think you take Commanders minus 20.5 because I think this is going to be a
wow.
I think it's going to be a blowout. I hate the Browns. I hate them. They're going to get demolished. Jaden Daniels scores every drive, it seems like. So let's see what that defense does to them. We'll keep that one nice and simple. I don't even want to talk about the Browns anymore. Moving on.
I love that.
Dom, kick it off.
See, the whole Davante Adams situation right now is just kind of like making me think, is there something going on in that locker room that, we don't know about? But then again, dude, like, I'm not huge on Denver at all. I've seen them probably play 3 of the 4 games this year. And I didn't see anything special. I think Bo Nix is okay. I think he has a long way to go. I think he could be their future quarterback for sure. So this is like kind of a coin flip game for me. But if I had to lean one side just because of the whole locker room situation, I'm going to take Denver.
I'm going to agree with you. I think Denver's been quietly playing like pretty good this year. Like, they're not good. I don't think they're a good team, but I think they're better than I thought they were. And kind of like you said, with the whole locker room thing going on, I wonder how that's going to pan out for the Raiders. So yeah, I'm going Broncos.
I'm 3 for 3. I'm with you guys. All the same reasons here. Not confident in Vegas right now.
All right, moving on. Cardinals versus 49ers.
Listen, I think the Cardinals take this one. I think their offense is capable. I'm not the biggest fan of Kyler, but I think they have a lot of nice pieces. Not sure if McBride's officially playing or not yet, but I think that'd be a huge guy to get back for this game. See what happens. I'm going to go Arizona on the road. Arizona on the road.
Click the 49ers real quick, Steph.
17's crazy.
That is crazy. Wow, Warner's questionable. Wow. Well, anyways, even after seeing that, I am going to take the 49ers. Yeah, I just think they're a better overall team. I love Kyle Shanahan. I think Brock Purdy's improving, week by week. I know he had a tough training camp, but kept seeing a notification on my phone almost every single day that he threw this pick, threw that pick, threw multiple picks in training camp. I still think this, they definitely have the most talented roster in the NFL. They're just trying to get over that hump with the Super Bowl, man. But yeah, I'm gonna take the 49ers by 10. I think they cover the spread.
I think I'm going 49ers also. Sorry, Joe, but
it's all right.
I think 49ers.
It's a hunch. It's just a hunch.
I like that though. All right. Packers versus Rams. I can lead this one off. Is Jordan Love is fully healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And with him fully healthy, you've seen Wicks just light it up this past week, and I'm excited to see what he can do. I think the Rams are still a real beat up team. It hurts missing your 1 and 2 receiver and putting together wide receiver crew with your 3 through 5, 6 receivers. So yeah. I just love the Packers. I think without a true number 1 receiver, I think they're going to have a problem. So I'm going Packers.
Yeah, so Rams were my lock of the week this past week at +2.5. Obviously, they lose to, the Bears. Out your best 2 receivers, like you said, Steph. I thought that McVay could have, schemed something up and maybe went and took that game, but I don't think there's any scheming up to keep up with this Green Bay offense, especially with Jordan Love back here. A lot of picks last week, but I think he's just getting the rust off. I think 4 touchdowns, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to go Packers on the road.
Can you guys imagine how good Jordan Love would be if he played in an indoor stadium? Like how many yards he'd be putting up a game? Like look what he's doing in these in Lambeau and Chicago, and I love Jordan Love. And like you said, Steph, he's healthy now finally. Dude, I'm really upset about Christian Watson this year. I thought, I know he's been banged up for the past couple of months now, but I thought he was going to be fully healthy coming into this year. Obviously, he got hurt again. I reached on him in fantasy this year. Was hoping for some luck, but I still love this Green Bay core. I love the receivers. I love LaFleur. I love Love. And Jacobs, obviously, now I think that defense is pretty good. So, yeah, I'm going to take Green Bay as well.
All right. Another thing I do want to say I thought was kind of interesting. Green Bay this year is 0-2 when Love started, and they are 2-0 with Malik Willis. So
it's true.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think of that.
True.
I think it's time Jordan Love got his first win.
Agreed.
All right. Going into the last 4 o'clock game on Sunday, we have a great matchup with Seahawks and Giants. Thoughts?
It's not an easy pick. For the public to be 97% on the Seahawks is, I guess it's not surprising, but I would have thought it'd be a little bit more. I don't think the Giants are horrible. I'm not a fan of Daniel Jones, but what did he throw for last week? Like 280. I think he might have had a touchdown or 2. And then I love their top 2 receivers. Malik Neighbors, he's already, almost one of the best in the league. I'm expecting him to be there at some point. And then Wan'Dale Robinson, almost out of nowhere. I think he's killing it this year. I like him a lot. I like what he brings to that offense. Now, I'm not confident in the running back situation, but it looks like, Singletary has done a decent enough job, I would say. But I'm still going to go Seahawks here because I like their defense too. And obviously they have 3 solid weapons on offense. And we've seen over the past 4 weeks, 2 starters at running back, essentially. I think Charbonnet's unbelievable. And, you saw what Kenneth Walker did last night. What was it, 3 or 4 touchdowns? That's
3.
impressive. I'm going Seahawks, especially at home now. But I wouldn't expect. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a closer game.
Dom?
So I took the point you made earlier, Joe. I totally that 97% to 3% is totally baffling to me.
Yeah.
I do think Seattle is going to win. I'm taking Seattle. I think it should be in the range of maybe 65-35. But yeah, I think they just have too much. Their offense is rolling right now. 3 stud receivers. Kenneth Walker, like you said, 3 touchdowns last night. They played a tough game against Detroit. In Detroit, one of the best environments in the NFL. But yeah, I think Seattle bounces back this week and gets the dub.
All right, I'm going to keep it nice and simple. I think you guys said enough for me. Going Seahawks also.
This next one, dude.
I mean,
God,
what kind of fans would we be if we didn't put the Steelers? You know what I mean?
I'm going to the game as well, man. So like, I'm not going to go there and root for Dallas.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, make it easy for all.
I don't want to talk about.
Let me tell you though. Let me tell you before you continue. It will not be like this every week. I will not be picking Pittsburgh every week just because I solely like them or they're my favorite team.
I will.
I will not.
I don't know.
I will.
Not all the time. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, listen.
You can't though.
I feel like Mike McCarthy always beats the Steelers, and I feel like he always beats us at home. I don't know the exact record that he has in Pittsburgh or against Pittsburgh.
Well,
I feel like he has our number. He has Tomlin's number. I don't know. I wouldn't. I mean, obviously,
we beat
not
him the 1 year. I know that's a fact.
I'll be dead honest with you guys. I think Steelers are winning a Super Bowl this year, so I think we win this game.
There you go. Here he goes.
You got an MVP on your team at quarterback. I mean, how don't you win it? The only thing holding us back right now is injuries. But all right, we'll get away from them. Moving on. Chiefs Saints. Let's go. Joe
starts with that one.
Kick her off.
These are my guys. These are my guys. Like I said before, Mahomes knows how to win.
Mm-hmm.
He's a born winner.
The kid plays ball.
There's nobody in the league that does what he does. Now, obviously, I would say the only one that's comparable is Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is the best in the league right now. But what Mahomes is able to do, he's so crafty. His arm angles, everything. I mean, he sees the whole field. He has the best vision out of any quarterback in the league by far. See what happens. I mean, I took a -5. I'm very confident they win the game.
Do you think? Let me ask you this. Going back to your point with Josh Allen, do you think he's the best quarterback in the league outright?
Allen?
Yeah.
I think he's playing the best, and I think he's. See, it's tough. Like I don't want to say more valuable to his team than Mahomes, but I think his team relies on him, more than they would rely on Mahomes. I mean, because he's a runner too, So
yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of hard to say, but
who do you put on Pittsburgh right now?
What?
Who do you pick for Pittsburgh right now? Mahomes or Allen?
For Pittsburgh.
Yep. You get one. You get them for the next 10 years.
I say Josh Allen.
Wow.
So here's something. Steph, I knew you're a big Allen guy too. I knew you would say that. Now, I'm thinking for 10 years, how many years have they both been in the league? 6 or 7 now, roughly?
Longer. That sounds about right, yeah. I think they're 2018 class.
I don't know what Allen's going to look like in 10 years with the way he plays. I mean, he plays reckless. He's physical. He's not afraid to get hit. He's always trying to jump over people. How's he going to feel in 10 years? I don't know if he'll be moving the same. So I would probably go Mahomes just because he's not putting his body through all that damage as much.
Just
what would you guys say?
I'm definitely I love Allen, but I'm definitely taking Mahomes. I think he's the best quarterback I've seen. I'm not calling him the GOAT. I'm not calling him the GOAT, but he's easily the most skilled, accurate quarterback I think I've ever seen, especially on the run.
I think Mahomes is the only one active in the league right now that could potentially take that title.
100%.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty obvious.
I mean, dude, if he wins another one, he has 4.
Yeah.
3 away.
Just a few more.
28 years old.
Guys, let's wrap this up so we can talk about other stuff. We're at 50 minutes right now.
Okay.
So Joe, Chiefs. Dom, who you
we're
riding
all
with?
Chiefs.
Okay. And
No
then
question.
for tiebreaker, total points. What are you guys thinking?
52.
Any objections, Joe?
I want to say 48. I think it's like a 31-17. I don't know.
I was going to say 51, so.
All right, we'll go.
You do 50 or 49.
Go 50. That's fine.
All right. And with that, just a recap for everyone. We went Buccaneers, Jets, Bears, Bengals, Bills, Jags, Patriots, Commanders, Broncos, 49ers, Packers, Seahawks, Steelers, Chiefs, and 50 total points in the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm. Parlay all of them.
Don't do that. We can't even hit our locks right now. Don't be parlaying.
Trust me, we're gonna get hot here.
Would love that. But we have around 10 minutes left. What do you guys want to chat about? Last 10 minutes.
I have something I've been holding on to. What do we think? We just saw today Davante came out. He wants a trade. What do you guys kind of think? Actually, I'll go. I'll let you know what I'm thinking. So I feel like there's 3, 4, maybe 5 teams I could see him on. So I would say, back with Rodgers on the Jets. I would say maybe to the Saints. I feel like Olave hasn't been getting it done down there. Rashid Shaheed has been solid but not consistent, which is his normal thing. Just because I think Kamara's getting so much of the target share, and I feel like I could use another guy, crafty vet like himself. I think Steelers would be in on the sweepstakes. But my secret contender would be the Chiefs. I mean, you saw Rashee Rice went down, Hollywood Brown out for the year, an aging Kelsey. Can you rely on Xavier Worthy to step up and take that? Can you rely on Juju? Is Watson that type of guy? I think the answer to all those questions is no. I'd keep an eye on the Chiefs in that sweepstakes.
I was going to say, you said kind of a sneaky one. I would say the Chiefs are like favorites right now.
They're number 2 for me. The favorites.
Yeah,
like
okay.
Their number one receiver goes down. Like they have solid pieces, but I don't really know if anyone they have is a true number one. They have Kelsey, who could be their number one, but I think they're up there. I saw a report today saying that the Raiders would entertain a trade for a second round pick and some other form of compensation. So I'm sure they could probably go second round pick, find a piece that they could trade on over, and I could very well see him being a Chief. But also, I was with my dad today, and he showed me a photo that Davante Adams was in the Pittsburgh airport today. Photo evidence of it.
Is it that picture of that dude leaning over the counter? The one that goes around the internet every time there's a
listen
potential spotting.
He's coming to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but what does that mean though? Like he can't go around and start talking to teams. He's not a
he's lying. It's not. He's
okay.
full of shit. You know that guy that like kind of looks like Herb Dean. He's leaning over the counter at an airport. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's not Herb Dean, but it kind of looks like Herb Dean.
my top
I thought
3
it was for the longest time.
I have it in order. I have the Jets number 1. I have the Chiefs at number 2. And I have Pittsburgh at number 3. Ooh. I think those are the top 3 contenders to get him. And I think if you put him on one of those 3 teams, I do truly believe that all 3 of those teams get drastically better. Drastically better.
I agree.
Especially the Jets. The Jets offense, they look horrible these past couple weeks. It's besides the New England game, where they scored 28. They won by 20 points or whatever it was.
But I don't think it's a lack of receivers why their offense isn't clicking.
What do you think it is? Their offensive line?
Honestly, I don't know what it is, but they have a true number 1 receiver there in Garrett Wilson, who's done next to nothing this season. You have Alan Lazard, who I don't think he's a bad receiver, but there's no reason why he should be the number one. You have Mike Williams, who's had a great career with the Chargers. He's there now. You got a young Malachi Corley, who they haven't even given an opportunity to yet. That's not even mentioning the fact that they have Breece Hall, one of the best young running backs in the NFL. And it seems like Breece Hall is the only guy that can get anything going receiving, and Alan Lazard with like 2 games where he's done good, but I don't think it's lack of receivers. So I don't think by bringing in Adams, it's going to really change that offense that much. I think there's a bigger problem that needs solved. Obviously, Davante Adams, anywhere he goes, is going to make the team better, but I don't think that's going to be like he comes in and boom, their offense is like firing on all cylinders. Whether it's blocking, maybe it's just Aaron Rodgers isn't in the full swing, like maybe it's scheme. I'm not quite sure, but there's something else is the problem there, not just receivers.
I just think Davante is a little different than, Malachi Corley. Yeah, like I think, what I mean? Like he's in Mike Williams, who, plays 3 games a year. Alan Lazard, he's okay. And honestly, I don't know if I believe Garrett Wilson's a true. I think he's like a number 1, but I don't think he's that, that guy. Like I don't think he's like, that's all.
I think
Fringe.
He's that guy.
I don't know, man.
Then why haven't they been getting it going?
Yeah, I mean,
I know
Darnold, Jefferson.
I know Dom's not gonna like this, but I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is what he once was. I think that it's all hype. I think it's all hype around him, and I just don't think he's that anymore. Okay. So that's just me personally.
So I have a question for you guys. It's a trivia question.
Okay.
You ready? All right.
Trivia.
So this is an active player. Okay. Who's the only running back with over 10,000 career rushing / receiving yards who's never run for 1,000 yards in a season?
Is it Kamara?
Yeah, it is.
It is Kamara.
I was gonna say I just was looking at stats the other day. Like something came up, and it's like Derrick Henry might be the last 10,000 yard rusher that we see, and I saw Kamara on that list at like 6,000 or something. And there's I know he's never ran for 1,000.
I probably shouldn't have said active, but like I know we're running out of time, so I kind of wanted to make it easier for everybody.
Yeah,
so.
It's fun.
Well, I kind of want to ask you a question going off of that. I wonder in the past 5 years, so from like 2019 to this season, can you guys name me like the top 5 leading rushers
from
2019 till now?
Yeah,
Henry's
1.
Saquon
is not in the top 5.
Nick Chubb
is 3.
McCaffrey?
No McCaffrey. McCaffrey's 11 and Saquon was 13.
James Conner?
No James Conner.
Thought I might have been able to sneak one there.
How, Steph, are they obviously all active?
Yeah, all active. To make this quick, one guy, he's been with his team.
Joe Mixon.
No.
Really?
You're gonna yell and scream for
my bad.
Joe Mixon challenge?
No, that's on me.
What about Dalvin Cook?
Close. He just misses the cut. He's 6th. But real quick, I'll give you guys a hint. One guy has been with this team this whole career, and 2 guys were with their team their whole career, except they got switched with teams one time. So they played with 2 teams. That's just a hard way of me saying that.
My brain is like
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor's number 4.
That's interesting. Okay.
So
I was thinking of him. I didn't guess him though.
Yeah, you got Henry 1, Chubb 3, Taylor 4. You're missing 2 and 5.
2. Oh wait, did somebody say Kamara?
No, we didn't.
No, he's 10.
What?
That's.
I mean,
absurd.
I don't think these are like crazy guys that you should be missing. Like they're pretty like. No, 5 years. Was he even in the league 5 years ago?
He's probably been in for about 3 or 4, I would think.
Yeah. Oh, Zeke.
No.
I thought about Zeke.
Really?
I
Zeke's
thought about
9.
him too. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't think.
Both of these people are on a new team this year.
Aaron Jones.
He's number 4.
And Josh Jacobs.
Yes, he's number 2.
Okay. I was thinking of them, and I don't.
Just afraid to say them. Josh Jacobs is number 2, and he's still almost 2,000 yards behind Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry.
He's number 2.
Yeah, Derrick Henry in the past 5 seasons has 7,379 rushing yards.
Okay.
Sheesh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got one for you guys. That was a good question. I like that. Who was the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for 4,000 yards?
Marino.
No.
I'm thinking like old times, like someone like just did it for no reason, like
John.
I want to say like Norm Van Brocklin or something like that.
What a name!
Yeah, I think he has the most yards passing in a game, but I don't know how he did that season.
Really?
Yeah.
Like to this day?
Wow.
Yeah. To this day.
How many?
Yeah.
Like 700?
No, I don't. He was under 600. No one's passed for 600, but maybe like 570, 580. I don't know the exact number.
Ben had a few games.
Was it Joe Namath?
It was Joe Namath. Can you name the year?
No, I couldn't name the year. I just know some. Yeah, I knew some like older guy did
Broadway
it
Joe.
Nowhere. Yeah.
Steph, I know you're not a big
PA guy.
PA guy.
Yeah.
From Beaver County.
Love that.
Beaver County. He was a Tiger. Steph, I know you're not a big college guy. What college did he go to?
I don't know. Bama.
That's right.
Did I get it?
You have someone in that room with you looking stuff up. There's no way you get that on any other day.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I got my girlfriend in the other room who she learned who Kenny Pickett was last season, and she goes to Pitt too. So I'm getting no help. I'm getting no help in this household.
Wait,
all right, guys.
Wait, hold on, Steph. Before we end this, real quick, can we do one guess the college that guy went to, or can we do that for next episode?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, we can
always time.
We
for
can end it like that.
Yeah, just one college guy. Does anybody want to start, or you want me to start?
You started. You came up with it.
Yeah, what? I don't even know how this works yet.
All right, Steph, you don't know college too well, right?
I don't know ball like that, no. But I'm good. I can take a good guess.
All right. Let's go with. See, Joe knows a lot of this stuff, so it's gonna be. Let's go Christian Kirk.
Texas A&M.
Wow.
Is that right?
That's right.
Is it actually? Wow. I didn't know that. I had to think. I didn't know that. I wouldn't have guessed ACC.
No, he's a sandbagger.
Yeah, he's a sandbagger.
Who?
You.
The owl over there.
There's no way you just guessed Texas A&M.
Right. Here's my thing is I don't know college like that, but I feel like I've played so much Madden and looked at every player so many times. Like it's like subconsciously I know, but like I don't know. So it's like to me, it's like it just feels right for me to say Texas A&M.
That's fair. You do play a lot of Madden.
Fun fact: this is the first year in my life I have not bought Madden. I mean,
no
I might
Ultimate
do it.
Team this year.
I never play Ultimate Team. I might do it in the future, like maybe in a couple weeks or so. But I've got NCAA, and I don't really play that much either. Haven't been a big football guy gaming wise this year, so I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. But yeah, no Madden yet.
I feel like I get it every other year. I can't play Madden like that all the time.
I love it.
I don't know.
College football, man.
I have one for you guys, by the way.
Let's hear it.
What school? I feel like Steph. I don't know if you'll know this. Dom, I think you could. What school did Leighton Vander Esch go to?
Boise State.
Not that easy. But both of those were bad. They were guessed in 2 seconds.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say we wrap this up, but we'll leave it to the viewers. Comment just a player's name. We won't look it up or anything. And in next week, we'll pull a couple of those names up. If we get any comments, if we don't, we'll just do it ourselves. But if we do, we'll pull a couple of them up and we'll see if any of us can figure it out. Maybe since I don't know ball like that, I'll look them up and then I'll ask Joe and Dom, so that way we know for sure. But yeah, that's something fun to do.
People can subscribe to this, right?
What?
People can subscribe to this channel.
Oh yeah, subscribe, like,
comment,
share with your friends.
Hit that subscribe. Cousins. See if you're going to be the first person to subscribe to our channel. Maybe we'll like fly you out and do like an interview with you. Not actually. Don't think that's going to happen.
No, we will. We'll do something cool. Listen, we'll do something cool with them.
Okay.
Watch Carlos upstairs.
Maybe we can send them a link and they can join for episode 2.
Yeah,
They could be right at home.
Could be.
Hey, so if you're one of our first subscribers, leave a comment when you're done and maybe you'll get on the show. Who knows? With that, everyone, we're out of here.
See you.
Peace.